All right, what does she grow? I took this picture in a friend of mine's garden, and I think it's probably one of the most honest things I've ever seen about gardening ever. Organic, homegrown tomatoes, $1,000 each. And he's probably going broke with that, okay? So, but anyway, that's another little side joke. I really do. I think it's funny. You know, everybody, you tell them you're a gardener, they're like, oh, you grow all your own food. I bet you save so much money, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no. So, all right. So what does she grow? The top 10 vegetables grown by the average gardener is tomatoes. And let me explain what this stat means. Of the people that responded to this section of the survey, 86% of people said that they grew tomatoes in their garden. And if you'll notice, that's twice as much as the next vegetable. Tomatoes, just a little gee whiz, the top grown vegetable in the world. Period. By far and away. It doesn't matter the country or anything. They grow as many of them in Russia and Indonesia and everywhere else as we do. People love tomatoes, all right? And have you ever gone to, like, the seed catalogs? You know, I love when the seed catalogs come in the winter. They'll have, like, 18 pages of tomatoes and then 18 pages of everything else. Right. You know, I mean, people just truly love tomatoes. So the other thing, yes, sir? Front back. There you go. That's right. Gardening magazines, you know, Patty and I both work for Texas Gardener. We know that there is going to be a tomato article in the January, February, and March, you know, or the first 3 of the year. That's what sells. So anyway, some of these others were just kind of interesting to me, you know, because I think I kind of think about what do I grow a lot of. And my wife and I do grow a lot of cucumbers, but we preserve them. I was really surprised that so many people grow cucumbers. I mean, half the gardeners in America seem to. And sweet peppers, I had no idea that bell peppers were that popular. Beans, 39%. Now the beans actually surprised me. So as far as like square footage in my garden, I give more square footage to beans than, besides asparagus, I grow more beans than anything else. So I was surprised that they were so far on the list, low. Carrots, you know, carrots, yeah, I mean, everybody likes them, kids like them, I don't know. Summer squash, I love summer squash, and I would grow a lot more of it, but the squash vine borer, you know, I've just about given up on it. So, you know, Patty talked this morning, one of her favorite is that Tromboncino. You know, long, you know, and so a lot of the vining squashes, and by that it can be anything from the acorn squashes to the butternut squashes to the spaghetti squashes, you know, any squash that has a vining habitat. They're not, like Patty pointed out, is very good. They're not immune to the squash vine borer, but the thing about them is that they grow so rapidly, and a lot of the times, anywhere that a node of that plant lies on the ground, it can root. So if you don't just tie it straight up and you let it kind of ramble before it runs up, they might might put a egg here and an egg there, but they've got so many points of contact that have roots that they just outgrow the vine borers. So, yeah, try any of the vine and squash. Just gee whiz, everybody's got their favorite. My absolute favorite vine and squash is called Tutume or Calabacita, but it's a Mexican squash. It gets about the size of a softball, and it can be grown. It's one of the few squashes that can be grown as a summer or a winter squash. T-A-T-U-M-E with a tilde. In Spanish, it's Calabacita. C-A-L-A-C-I-B-I-T-A. And I got mine from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds is where I get it. I actually used to buy them up here at the Hort sale is when I found, are anybody y'all from College Station? Well, they used to have an amazing Hort sale up here every year for the plants. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry I hadn't paid that close attention to the thing. But go, if you have a chance and you have a way to take stuff back, go. It's really a very good sale. We got off of the stats, but that's okay. Okay, another one that kind of surprised me was onions. Who doesn't eat onions? You know, I mean, yes, ma'am. 15 minutes, okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you don't or you do?
Oh, I put onions in everything I eat.
I do too. I mean, so I was very surprised that they were so close kind of to the bottom. I know this is Texas, but who doesn't eat hot peppers? You know, I mean, you're talking about a hamburger. I mean, and to me, a hamburger is not a hamburger unless it's got jalapenos on it. Lettuce, peas, And I appreciate y'all not counting because I gave y'all a bonus. Evidently, I can't count. There's 11 vegetables up there that I noticed when I previewed it, but don't look at sweet corn, okay? But peas is the last one. The 11th most is sweet corn. So those are the statistics. So based on this, we're supposed to look at all these statistics and we're supposed to start making some inferences to what it means for our hobby and for our future.